The next character video is the Trandoshan bounty hunter, Bossk. These videos are fun to make. Now let's go over the life of a ruthless bounty hunter, Bossk. Bossk hatched on Trandosha 53 years before the Battle of Yavin. Not long after hatching, he devoured his siblings, making his father, Cradossk, one proud lizard papa. Bossk grew up and became a fearsome Wookiee hunter, as the two species hated each other. Bossk gained many Jagganath points to honor the Trandoshan deity, the Scorekeeper, and Wookiee pelts netted a lot of Jagganath points. During the time of the Republic, such hunting was outlawed, so he had to hunt Wookiees in secret. Just before the Stark Hyperspace War, he joined the guild, who was led by his father. He brought in hundreds of Wookiee pelts, furthering Cradosk's pride in his son. His first guild job was during the Stark Hyperspace War, as he went to war-torn Quotile in pursuit of a military deserter who had set himself up as king. Bossk bagged him, and the timid natives bestowed the title Monarch of the Quotile system on Bossk. Around the time of the Separatist crisis, Cradossk and his son were hired by foreman of the Techno Union and an executive of Bactoid Armor Workshop, Wat Tambor, to kill Senator of the Tampani sector, Rod. Grudo the Hutt, associated with the Trade Federation, and Hurlo Holowan, a droid designer from Kuat. The father-son duo chased their targets from Fondor to distant Italy's, but lost their prey to rival bounty hunter Jango Fett, who had been hired by Count Dooku to bring in those three alive. Bossk engaged in a dogfight near Kashyyyk later. His combatant was a Jedi Master, Bant Irin, and her apprentice during the Clone Wars. He was brutally defeated and later became a wanted Trandoshan, with a 35,000 credit bounty on his head. After this, he teamed up with Boba Fett to help him get his revenge on Mace Windu for killing Jango Fett, but he, along with Fett, were taken into Republic custody and sent to prison. While in prison, he served as Boba Fett's bodyguard and, during a riot, escaped. The Trandoshan continued to work with Fett on various jobs. Many years later, about a year before the Battle of Yavin, Bossk teamed up again with the now grown-up Boba Fett on a job to the inhospitable Orto Plutonia. After that job, he worked with Score to hunt down rebel agent Kestrel, but failed to bring her in. Unfortunately for the Trandoshan bounty hunter, he suffered a setback, as on Grandolo 4, Bossk was trying to bring in a group of Wookiees, including the famous Chewbacca, but Han Solo landed the Millennium Falcon on Bosk's ship, crushing it, which trapped Bossk, who had to cut his way out, and then he hitched a ride off-world among manure. He spent a handsome sum on a new ship, a YV G-66 freighter he dubbed the Houndstooth, and a smaller vessel, the Captivator. Bossk did participate in the hunt for the Yavin Basilica, but his team failed to get to the ancient artifact. Since Bosk's father was the leader of the Bounty Hunter Guild, that made him the heir. He killed his father and became the leader of the guild, and went on a bounty with Darhan, Zuckuss, IG-88, and Boba Fett, but the guild was split, Bosk's faction and the True Guild. Bossk then worked with his rival, Boba Fett, to bring in rogue Imperial Stormtrooper Trihin Vusanit. He betrays Fett, but Fett, being Boba Fett, was prepared for the Trandoshan's perfidy and lost. The Trandoshan then took a bounty on Luke Skywalker from Jabba the Hutt. Luckily, Luke was on Tatooine attending a funeral for his friend, Biggs Darklighter, but Bossk failed to capture Luke, and Jabba tried to feed the Trandoshan to his pet Rancor, but he managed to escape. After the Battle of Talos, Bossk started hunting some of the Empire's most wanted. He brought in some of the rebellion leadership and was humbled by other rebels who got the information as to where their fellow rebels were. Around 1 year after the Battle of Yavin, the Trandoshan bounty hunter was tasked with learning who had tipped off Lady Valerian, a rival to Jabba the Hutt on Tatooine. Bossk found the traitor and Jabba had them executed. Next, Bossk ensured that Jabba could use the Tusken Raiders to attack Mos Eisley, as the mayor and the Hutt didn't get along. This was successful. Then Bossk had to get a shroud of a Night Sister, as Jabba had made a bet with a fellow Hutt. Again, Bosk's agent was successful, and then the final task was to use the agent to see how strong Black Sun was, and of course, this was successful. Later, Bossk and another Trandoshan, Balfour Jakor, tracked a trio of bounties on Locke. They were Uno Morin, Jody Lake, and Sardea Elgrin. These were no trouble for Bossk. He even managed to bag another bounty, the leader of a Corellian gang, Belfatreet, Lucian Bender. Around 2 years after the Battle of Yavin, Bossk was hired by former Baron Administrator of Cloud City on Bespin to hunt down his successor, Lando Calrissian. Bossk brought along a band of mercenaries and forced Lando to fight to escape. Then, in 3 ABY, Bossk slew Corellian security force officer Hal Horn and was brought in by Horn's son and fellow Corsac officer Corran Horn, but Bossk was released to take a job for the Empire. At the Battle of Hoth, Bossk was among the bounty hunters summoned to the Executor to take the bounty on Han Solo. As he prepared to chase Solo, the Trandoshan ran into Tinian Iat and Chen Lembek, her Wookiee partner. They claimed to know where Solo was going, so he brought them on as temporary partners. But these two tricked Bossk into attacking a prison full of Wookiees. This spoiled the trap for the rebellion, so Bossk was thrown into a cell. The scaly bounty hunter dug his way out and retook his beloved houndstooth. This whole saga took Bossk out of the competition to get Han Solo. Taking a job from the Hutt cartel, later on to remove Tiber Zahn of the Zahn Consortium, but Zahn paid Bossk triple to help him. The Trandoshan continued to work with the Consortium, and Bossk stole a Sith artifact from the Consortium and sold it to the Empire. Thus, he wasn't welcome in the Consortium any longer. Then some other jobs he did was a job for Lady Domina Tag to get some rare gemstones, a failed attempt to capture Lando Calrissian on Stenos for Drebel, and another attempt to capture Calrissian, this time for Quafug the Hutt, which was another failure. An angry Bossk journeyed to Tatooine in 4 ABY. He was in the palace during a performance of Lapti Nek and Jedi Rocks of the famed Max Rebo band, and later was on Jabba's sail barge when the Hutt was killed. He left just prior to all the chaos. But he was outsmarted and made a fool of by Boba Fett, who the Trandoshan had thought dead. Without a credit to his name and his ship taken by Fett, Bossk was an object of ridicule in Mos Eisley. However, he had some intel that Fett needed and used it to get some credits. With those credits, he bought a new ship and continued to hunt. Years later, old and grayscaled, Bossk retired from the game. But during the Yuuzhan Vong invasion, Bossk taunted Han Solo on a space station about the death of Chewbacca, and that resulted in Bossk bloody and imprisoned. And that was all we know of Bossk. Let me know what you thought of Bossk in the comments down below. What part of his story did you enjoy most? Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and until next time, thanks for watching.